JBN, we keep you informed. Couple and 2-year-old son found dead in St. Thomas. The police in St. Thomas are probing a suspected murder-suicide involving a member of the Jamaica Defense Force. The bodies of Soldier Lexton Clayton, her boyfriend Kimani Taylor, and their 2-year-old son Tyler were found this morning in bushes in the community of Pear Tree River, Port Morant. The bodies were badly burnt. Reports are that on Saturday, June 6, at about 3:30 p.m., a brown Nissan motor car was found abandoned in the Pear Tree River community along the roadway between Pear Tree River and Boyden. Information is that Clayton was last seen on Friday afternoon. Full details relative to the development of the incident are not yet clear, as investigators who are probing the matter were still on the scene. Further details will be provided as they become available. Kingston man charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. 28-year-old Dalmarlo Garrick was yesterday arrested following the seizure of a firearm at his home in Collins Close, Kingston 8. Lawmen said at about 10:30 p.m., officers were on an operation in the area when Garrick was seen acting in a suspicious manner. He was accosted and the area searched. A 9mm Browning pistol with a magazine containing 11 9mm rounds and 1.38 round of ammunition were found in a multicolored bag. He was arrested and later charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. His court date is being finalized. Grisly discovery of woman's body in car trunk in downtown Kingston. There was a grisly find in downtown Kingston in the vicinity of the waterfront on Thursday, June 4, as police discovered the bloodied and gagged body of a female in the trunk of a car on Carmona Road at about 10:45 p.m. The deceased woman has been identified as Michelle Mary of Grandspen, St. Andrew. Police investigators on the scene reported that the woman's body had been gagged and there was a wound to her face. Persons on the scene expressed the belief that she had been stabbed to death and her body was abandoned at the location where it was found. On Friday, several reports emerged on social media labeling the deceased woman as having been an associate of a man who was shot dead in St. Andrew earlier last week. The Corporate Communications Unit, the police's information arm, did not corroborate the social media reports. We can confirm that the woman is dead and that the Elliston Road Police are investigating, a representative of the CCU said. In the meantime, friends and family members of the deceased woman mourned her death. Today is a sad day for me and my family as we mourn the passing of my cousin, Michelle Mary, who was brutally killed. Today my heart is grieving. Please remember me and my family in your prayers. Thank you, a family member said in a post on Facebook. Inmates to grow what they eat. Prisons move towards self-sufficiency. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of National Security, Senator Matthew Samuda, has announced that the Department of Correctional Services, DCS, is moving closer towards being self-sufficient in food production. The DCS has commissioned the construction of 2 new broiler units, which will house a total of 9,000 chickens at the Tambourine Farm Adult Correctional Center. The 9,000 square feet broiler units are being constructed as part of a public-private partnership with Nutrimix Feeds and is expected to produce 6 flocks of chicken annually. A tractor valued at 11 million Jamaican dollars has also been purchased to cultivate approximately 70 acres of lands owned by the DCS. The tractor was supplied by Kingston Industrial Agencies Limited, which was represented by Director Stephen Enriquez at the handover ceremony last Wednesday. Enriquez will be providing technical support to correctional officers and inmates in the proper usage and maintenance of the vehicle. Speaking at the ceremony, Samuda said that while the tractor and the broiler units will provide the DCS with an opportunity to move towards self-sufficiency, it would also give inmates a sense of purpose as they produce the food they'll consume and learn additional skills. Government committed to modernizing JCF to combat gang activity. Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang says the government remains committed to modernizing the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF for improved efficiency. During a tour of several police stations in the Area 4 Police Division yesterday, Chang said the telecommunications center at the Elliston Road Police Station has been completely refurbished and is now providing quality communication to the police force, which is the prerequisite to successful policing. He said criminal activity in the division has increased rapidly due to gang or gun culture in the communities. There are approximately 1,000 gang members in police custody, and over 200 have been charged by the police, Chang noted. I thought it was good to visit the men in the field and be briefed by the officers who are in command on the ground to get a good sense of what's happening and seeing what the challenges are out there for the police officers, he said. He also lauded the members of the JCF for their diligence and hard work during this time. According to the ministry, based on the latest assessment carried out by the National Intelligence Bureau of the JCF, at the end of 2019, there were 389 criminal gangs operating in Jamaica. This represents an increase of 8 gangs when compared to the 381 in 2018, the ministry said. It also noted that Area 4, which comprises the Kingston Western, Kingston Central, Kingston Eastern, St. Andrew Central, and the St. Andrew South Police Divisions, accounted for 249 or 64% of the total number of known gangs island-wide. Manchester's RTs in pain. The murder of 36-year-old Shanley Bailey on Thursday, allegedly by the father of 4 of her 5 children in RTs close to Manchester, has yet again focused attention on the high rate of domestic violence in this South Central parish. In fact, Bailey's mother, Patricia Clayton, was also murdered in similar fashion, or a throat cut, 12 years ago. Manchester has been rocked over the years and in recent months by the killing of women, allegedly by their partners, leaving children motherless. On Thursday, the residents in Artiste appeared traumatized. Them killed her mother 12 years ago, right on her mother's birthday. Them cut her throat right round the saw. And now this come happen to her daughter, Bailey's uncle Stafford Clayton said. Me remember, over 10 years ago when them killed her mother. Me remember it like it was yesterday. And to consider something now is very painful, another resident who requested not to be named said. Bailey's alleged killer was beaten during a mob attack in the neighboring community of Grovemount and had to be rescued by the police as residents tried to execute jungle justice. He is in hospital and has not yet been charged. Custos of Manchester Garfield Green said that special arrangements will be made to take care of the children left behind in this latest case. The 5 children are aged 16, 8, 6, 4, and 2. It is very disheartening. Any crime is bad, but when children are involved, it becomes much worse. They need the care of their parents, Green said. They would have lost 2 parents. One is dead and the other is possible badly injured. They are now growing up without parents, or at least without a mother. They have the memory of the incident left to live with. You can never tell the impact it will have on them growing up. And that is why we want to help, Custis Green said via telephone on Friday. He said arrangements will have to be made to facilitate the affected children in counseling sessions. I am very disheartened by it. We need our children. We cannot have a future without our children, he said. He said that despite changes made as a result of the current COVID-19 pandemic, persons can still call a helpline to resolve domestic issues at 876-579-7112. Nonetheless, we still take calls. If persons are to call my office, then assistance can be granted to them. Counselors will be assigned to them to assist. Persons can either call the office or make the request through the police station, he said. He disclosed that more people sought assistance via the helpline before the COVID-19 pandemic. Prior to COVID, it was being used more, but since COVID, I think we only got 2 calls. Prior to COVID, it was quite a bit of calls, and we would have dispatched counselors to assist. I don't think the citizens are aware of it. We had planned a public education campaign which was scheduled for March, he added. He said several families have benefited from assistance via the helpline. The helpline was born out of the need to assist suicidal individuals and persons suffering from depression. We had changed it and called it the Custis Counseling Helpline. It is not yet a 24-hour line. We were in discussion with a telecoms company to let us have a dedicated line that would have been placed at the police station. But COVID has put a lot of things on hold. If persons have called outside of the normal office hours, they can leave a message and we will get back to them, the Custis said. Former Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Elaine Foster Allen, said a combination of shift system, distant learning, and alliances with local organizations will need to be considered in preparation for the new school term. Foster Allen, who is now an education consultant, made the suggestion during a COVID-19 Rethinking Education Forum organized by We Change. The seasoned educator said that the ministry officials and school leaders will have to adopt new ways of dealing with their students. We have to contend with staffing. The ratios that have been used will have been changed. I'm talking about at the Ministry of Education level, she advised. She said that school leaders will need to look at funding and infrastructural arrangements. Foster Allen urged them also to conduct a space audit to determine the placement of children. Principals will have to go outside of their own physical spaces to make alliances with churches, community organizations, community centers, and so on, as well as reconsider the old Jamaican shift system, because you're not going to get 1,000 children in the spaces, or 500 or 800, whatever the numbers we're talking about, into the existing space, she lamented. Civil society advocate Carol Narcisse has suggested that a national appeal be made for retired teachers to assist. She also suggested that consideration should be given to allow final year teachers at teachers' colleges to be deployed to schools to provide support. Community members, she said, should be used in the schools to carry out functions such as manning students during lunch and break times. Education consultant Renee Rattray feels that while COVID-19 has affected everyone, it has also been a gift to educators in some ways. In education, we have a lot of catching up to do in terms of being open to changing the way we do things. Many of our schoolrooms look the same way as they did 50 years ago, and I think that what we have to do is play catch up, she said. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items. Shift system suggested for schools.